Caucus Akume rejects call for state of emergency. The attention of the Benue State People's Democratic Party PDP caucus in the House of Representatives has been drawn to a shocking press conference by the Minister for Special Duties, Senator George Akume, on Monday, 30th August 2021 in Abuja. In the said press conference, loaded with expletives and the copious use of demeaning adjectives unbecoming of a person of his status, the former governor of our state unequivocally called for an emergency rule in Benue State, citing a perceived inability of His Excellency Governor Samuel Otom to contain the herdsmen killing in the state. We wish to respond to the issues raised in the press conference by Senator George Akume, who has never lent his voice to the clarion call for the cessation of incessant killings in Benue State, despite his assumed closeness to the president. Rather, he chose to attack the person of the governor and called for the disbandment of the livestock guards so as to bring further hardship on the displaced people of Benue State, with over 1 million people in IDP camps as we speak. It is pathetic that the person of Akume, who has benefited greatly from the Benue people, can call for emergency rule in Benue State and invite soldiers to further rape and maim our people. The governor, as far as members of this caucus are aware, has called ad infinitum on the Muhammadu Buhari-led federal government to intervene and arrest the protracted bloodletting in the state, with little or, in very many instances, no response from the federal government. We will not dwell on the allegations of a lack of accountability against Governor Otom on a plethora of issues as raised by Senator George Akume, but we leave him to the legal dictum that says he who claims must prove. The caucus is, however, displeased with the improper language deployed by the minister in addressing His Excellency Governor Samuel Uriah Otom, the defender of the Benue Valley. The caucus calls on the leader of the All Progressives Congress in Benue, and indeed all stakeholders behind his onslaught against the government and people of Benue State, to retract the call for emergency rule in the state for the interest of democracy and explore other means of resolving the nagging and persistent insecurity in the state. This caucus calls on President Muhammadu Buhari to embrace his conscience, rise up and end the bloodletting caused by his kith and kin in Benue State now. The caucus calls on the former governor of our state, Dr. George Akume, to retrace his steps and employ dialogue and amity with the governor of the state, His Excellency Dr. Samuel Otom. The caucus wishes to state clearly that all Governor Otom, as the Benue leader, has been saying on the insecurity situation in Benue State are the collective opinion of the entire Benue people and not the personal opinion of the governor, and should not be personalized. The caucus also rejects Senator Akume's call for the disbandment of the livestock guards in the implementation of the Anti-Open Grazing Act. The caucus wishes to caution the presidential spokesman, Mr. Garba Shehu, to stop trivializing and misconstruing Governor Otom's outspokenness for an attack on President Muhammadu Buhari. Governor Samuel Otom has the highest regards for the president and will not do or say anything to drag the presidency in the mud. The governor, however, will never sacrifice the lives of his people on the altar of the presidency. This caucus calls on the federal government to urgently redeem her promise of 10 billion naira to resettle the internally displaced people in Benue State. We appeal to the former governor and one of our leaders in the state, Senator George Akume, to eschew his disagreement with the incumbent governor and embrace efforts to end attacks on innocent citizens and indigents of our dear state. We call on all traditional, political, and neutral persons with the interest of Benue at heart to intervene and foster unity for the common good of our entire state. We also call on the leadership of the National Assembly to intervene and nip promptly in the bud the calls for the breach of democratic structure in Benue through the instrument of a disruptive emergency rule. As the Benue PDP caucus in the House of Representatives, we hereby pass unequivocally a vote of confidence on the leadership of our governor, His Excellency Dr. Samuel Uriah Otom, the defender of the Benue Valley. Thank you very much.